Coral reefs are the subject of many stories of global warming. We hear about and see images of coral bleaching. That's when corals die because the temperature of the water changes too quickly for them to adapt. Is that true? What are the actual causes of coral bleaching? Let's investigate. Now, this is the important slide. Bleaching from a temperature rise is a tiny part of what destroys coral reefs, less than 6% of the cause, and some of that is caused by cooling, not warming, water temperature. The main culprits are the crown-of-thorns starfish, which eats the corals, and storms, which destroy the ecosystem. More nutrients from sewage and agriculture increase the viability of the starfish, which then consume all the corals. Here we see a reef being destroyed by crown-of-thorns starfish. Starfish and corals have been fighting it out for millions of years. After the starfish are done, they move on, and the reef recovers. Here is 30 years of data from the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. Orange bars represent the crown-of-thorns starfish. Beige bars represent cyclone damage. And green is bleaching, both warm and cold. Look for the green bars here. There's only been one significant bleaching event in one part of the reef, and remember, bleaching happens in both directions, colder and warmer. Who's to say this hasn't been happening for millions of years? And what happens after a coral reef is destroyed? The answer is, it comes back. There are many species of coral polyps, and they are quite resilient to temperature. If one species isn't able to re-inhabit a reef, the other species moves in and rebuilds the neighborhood. This study shows that corals adapt quicker than people expected. As they say in this peer-reviewed paper, and I've highlighted in red, coral adaptation is likely to slow predictions of demise for reef systems. A huge disappointment to the United Nations. Corals are a dynamic ecosystem that change continuously, and bleaching is just one very small part of the cycle they go through as they evolve. As Peter Ridd, an Australian reef expert, says, bleaching is a phenomenon that has only recently been documented, not a phenomenon that has only recently occurred. Temperature oscillations are natural. Bleaching from rising sea temperatures is rare. A much bigger problem is sewage and pollution. In the next section, I'll summarize by comparing what we've seen to what the United Nations has published.